kind of in the end we stumbled into the playoffs rather than flying into them as such. And I think there was some varying factors in that through the course of the back end of that season. We got to the final in the Papa John's, been to Wembley. Results prior to that have been good. Performances have been good. And was that because everyone wanted to play in a Wembley Cup final? Probably. We come away from that game having played well, having performed, and taken plaudits for the performance against a really good Sunderland side. There was nothing in the game. We came out on the wrong side of it, unfortunately. And I still question performances, I believe, after that dropped. And I'm certainly not laying any blame at Keith Hill's door, Parky, or Dorsey's door. I think as individuals, as players, there was a drop-off because either one, great, played in the Wembley Cup final, or two, didn't get to play in that game. Toys came out of the pram. So I think there was that. I think there was obviously the untimely injury to James Vaughan at Leyton Orient, which basically ruled him out for the rest of the season. With that, he came back for the playoff games. So that was very untimely. Scott Davis's injury, again, another untimely one. So with that, you lose two players from your starting 11 that are leaders, players who demand of themselves and place demands on others, and they're unfortunately now out. They're injured, and because of their injuries and the serious aspect of them, they weren't even at the club because of the rehabilitation and the recovery that they actually needed. So we've lost two players out of the spine of the team, but also I think other players that perhaps their form was harmed by the loss of those boys. At the top end of the field, if Varney didn't score, he was a great foil for other players, took the attention away from other players and allowed the likes of Kane Woolery, Corey Blackett-Taylor, Kieran Morris, Paul Lewis, those sorts of lads benefited directly or indirectly from James Vaughan being in the team. Scott was vocal. He was a leader. And he was obviously the club captain. So I think those things harmed the group. And I think, that's possibly why we stumbled into the playoffs rather than going in a rich vein of form, or even not even requiring the playoffs. Unfortunately, that was the hand we were dealt, and we had to play. And as you say, the lack of connection between Keith and the fans obviously was another aspect to things. And ultimately, come the end of that season, we didn't attain the goal that we'd set out to achieve.
Well, as you've mentioned Everton, it would be horrible not to mention one of the most famous wins in Tranmere's history. You've got a big hand in one of the goals as well, as you surged down the right wing and put the cross in. What was that like to play in and to absolutely humiliate them in their own backyard?
Yeah, brilliant. Obviously, I'm a Liverpool fan, so going to Goodison, full house, all the family there, big build up to the game. And we tortured them. We did torture them. We well deserved to win that game 3-0 from what I can remember. I really enjoyed the game. I came off just right near the end of the game, I think, but really enjoyed it. Played against, I think David Unsworth played up against me, and I was having loads of success running him down the sides. Should have scored from what I can remember. The chance, I think, on the left foot, I should have done a bit better with. But yeah, really enjoyable game, and all the sweeter because it was Everton at Goodison.
There were some highs though. Stockport, the highest of your career?
Yeah, we were talking. We started this off by talking about sort of favourite games. That's personally, that's got to be my favourite game. It was a fantastic day. The fans were just brilliant. The number that went, the noise that they made, the way that they were when we were going in, the way they celebrated, the way that they were letting us know other scores. As it turned out, it didn't make that much difference. But at the time, and it was, I think you'll agree that it was quite a comfortable win. By the time, even the position we were in, by the time we got early second half, I think we were comfortable, and it didn't look as if they were going to come back into the game. So that was fantastic. And then after the game, I remember getting mobbed on the pitch. Everyone got mobbed. The fans were like in sprint down on all fours, ready to sprint onto the pitch at the final whistle, and they did. And everyone just got mobbed in the dressing room after. I've still got a picture in the dressing room. That was brilliant, and then everyone back to Prenton Park, and it was a great night. So yeah, so personally that was me, probably me, obviously my favourite match of all the time that I was at Tranmere.
Tell us about the playoffs. Then you don't play in the two games against Forest Green, but as we all know, you play a very key role in the win over Newport at Wembley. First of all, it must have been gutting for you to not be in the starting line, having missed out the year before due to injury.
Yeah, it was. But where I didn't play in the playoffs at Forest Green, I was gutted. And then the lads obviously were unbelievable, so I didn't really expect to play at Wembley. So all you can do is hope that you come on when you do, take your chance. And to be fair, I think I was only coming on to take a penalty. I used to take penalty, and I remember Mickey, I think, what was the left? 5 minutes to go, something like that. And it was me and Moles warming up, and I remember them shouting. So I said to Moles, go on, you're going on, lad, we need a goal. So Moles just went to run down, and he went, no, you. I thought, me? Fucking hell, it's a bit weird. Need a goal. And he come to me when I went to going on. He was like, it doesn't look like we're going to score. I'll accept penalties. I know you're going to be one of my penalty takers. Pick your spot and put it away for me. And then I remember we breaking, and Caprice has got it, and I thought, fuck it, I'm going round him here. Like, similar to the way we played in the first season. And obviously I've chopped it back inside, set Jake, and he's put the ball in Connor's head, and obviously we scored, and what a moment that was. Unbelievable scenes that. What a feeling to score in the last minute at Wembley. It's what dreams are made of, innit? And for it to be Connor as well after all he'd been through. It was buzzing for him.
You must have some great memories from the game still, though, regardless of the results. That moment when Ned scored will live long in my memory as a 9-year-old who was there, and I imagine it still lives long in your memory.
Yeah, we were never catching him though, were we? It's like we're at the back and he's got round the goal when Wembley was big and he's off. It's like I started running for a bit and thought, this is stupid. I may as well wait the halfway line for him. No one was ever gonna catch him. Yeah, brilliant memories. The one thing again that game taught me, I suppose, in hindsight and on reflection, is to take in them experiences, taking them moments, because I think what happened with us, we whether it be stupidly or not, we got ourselves to a state mentally where we felt we were going to win. We were pretty sure we were going to win. So when we didn't, the disappointment was ridiculous. So you go to the end of that game, sitting on the, I've got a picture of myself sat on the pitch at Wembley, absolutely devastated. You look at how that game was, even in the dressing room, there was experienced senior players sort of in tears after the game. I don't remember taking one step up the steps to get my medal going past the road. I don't remember anything of that. The disappointment massively took over any part of that. We had 35,000 supporters there that were absolutely unbelievable. All that for me is like a wash. I remember coming out the tunnel, the fireworks going off that were ridiculous, national anthem and whatever it might be, going out and playing the game. Everything from that point onwards, as soon as the final whistle went, was sort of forgotten about. Apart from we were staying down in London, so we went back to a hotel in West London, and had a night out, or a night in, if you like, in the hotel. There was casino tables and things like that. The club did really, really well for us, and put on an event that evening before we had to come back for a civic reception to then go back down to Portsmouth, I think, on the Wednesday. So it was all of a bit of a blur. But like I said, the one thing from that game for me, the disappointment really mirrored all the memories, or got rid of all the memories that I had from it. So from that point on, any sort of big occasions, it was about embracing what it was. Yes, the game is the be all end all, the important part, but taking what's going on around the whole build up to the occasion.